Now, this is where I have to take a moment to tell you that sometimes the press are, in fact, the enemies of the people. That's a real thing. Some journalists right now are doing excellent work, and we need them to be bringing us facts and stories. So I'm not using this as an opportunity to besmirch all journalists. Far from it. I work in the media, so I'm in some ways part of the extended journalist family, I guess. But the New York Times went with a story right now when people are at this degree of extreme unease. And remember, panic, the word that I don't know if I've explained on this show, interesting derivation of it comes from the Greek god of the woods, Pan, who had the legs of a goat and little horns and played a flute. People know the Pan flute. Panic is comes from panikos in ancient Greece, which was the feeling you had if you were in the woods. And they're not sure if you saw Pan because it was a terrifying and scary situation, or if you're just in Pan's realm, the woods, away from civilization, away from your family and your protectors, and so you have extreme anxiety that comes on. That's where the word panic comes from, which I think is interesting because you're hearing it constantly right now. But we are in this moment in time where things are particularly uneasy. I think that's a gentle way of saying it. And I'm right in the middle of it. I mean, I am doing the show right now from Midtown Manhattan. Well, I could walk over to Times Square in a matter of minutes, and it would be empty. It looks like that scene from Vanilla Sky, one of my least favorite movies of all time, by the way. I put Vanilla Sky in the 10 worst movies I've ever seen, maybe even the 5 worst movies I've ever seen in the theater. It was god-awful. But there's a scene where Times Square is completely empty, and it's like a dream sequence. It's like that right now. I mean, you might see a handful of people walking around, but usually you would see hundreds, maybe 1,000 or 2, right? You'd see a lot of people in Times Square, and it's not because people are scared. So we're trying to get ready for the influx that is, according to all experts, I don't know an expert who disagrees with this. I haven't seen one, I should say. The influx of people who are infected with COVID-19 and are having trouble breathing, and they go to the hospital and they need really serious help. And it's not like they go in, they get patched up, and they're out in a day. They're going to be on ventilators for a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So each ventilator that someone gets on is taken offline for a long period of time. And the president was on a conference call with governors from around the nation, and this is what the New York Times reported. Trump to governors on ventilators, try getting it yourselves. And people were reporting this as, wow, how could he? Oh, he's so awful. Respirators, ventilators, all the equipment, try getting it yourselves. And there were people, the New York Times, who were sharing this like this was an appalling thing for the president to say. Well, he also said, the full quote is, we will be backing you, but try getting it yourselves. Point of sales, much better, much more direct if you can get it yourself. This was treated as yet another moment to criticize the president, when all he's saying is, do everything you can. I mean, the federal government's going to help you as much as it can, but guess what? The federal government's not perfect, doesn't have all the resources it needs right now, because it just draws upon the resources of the people. We weren't ready for this. We're not really prepared for this. So if the states have a better way of getting some of this, they should just do it. You know, if you see something on Amazon, are you going to wait for the state authorities to deliver to your door? Or are you just going to say, I'm going to buy that? That's all he's saying. And it was reported on as the president's being, unfeeling, and he doesn't care, and, all this other stuff. And just pure and utter garbage. And the president notably annoyed by this. Play clip 12.
And yesterday I gave the governors the right to go order directly if they want, if they feel they can do it faster than going through the federal government. Now, we've knocked out all of the bureaucracy. It's very direct, but it's still always faster to order directly. And I gave them, that was totally misinterpreted by the New York Times on purpose, unfortunately. But
yeah, they did completely misinterpret it, and they used it as a cheap shot opportunity against the president. And it's really appalling, but that's where we are. And that's still going to continue to happen. People view all of this as an opportunity to score political points against an administration that they hate. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.